Welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet.
And welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet. Well, hey, Ryan.
Hey.
What started a couple days ago?
Grouper season.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah. It's always, I just love grouper season. I don't know. Like in my newsletter, it just is something special for me. I've always looked forward to any sort of opening day of fishing. I remember when I was a kid, I loved to go duck hunting with my father, and duck hunting season opener was just something that it was better than Christmas.
Better than Christmas?
Better than Christmas. We didn't kill many ducks, but it was more about just the experience of going, and it just was. I think I learned more from going duck hunting with my dad about the outdoors than I did from growing up going fishing. It just really is bizarre, but it really taught me about just being outside, looking forward to something, being with people, knowing that like I said, we didn't kill many ducks.
was that because you sucked or what?
We just
were both terrible?
No, we just weren't that good. And other guys were, but we just were like, it was something that we did, and what we tried, and we did what we could. And my dad worked really hard, and to go, and it was very expensive to go duck hunting, and it was just something that we enjoyed doing together, and I looked forward to it every year. And I have a lot of memories about opening day of duck season.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I remember when we got together and you would get super excited about fishing season opening and being able to go visit Al and go to Lake Michigan for the first time, and every year. And I was like, oh, I think you brought me on that first trip, and I was like, this is horrific. It is freaking cold. And what am I doing here?
Oh my God.
And then the next year you just went by yourself to see Al, and I was like, oh, you go and have fun. That's great. See ya.
Yeah.
But you've always been excited about all of that.
All of that, yes, always.
And you start preparing for grouper season like way before grouper season starts.
I started I start preparing as soon as the season closes. And I started last year in January. As soon as the season closed, I started in my free time, start thinking about how I would go back, analyze every grouper trip I had, every bite I had, and then including bait and all that other good stuff. Analyze moon cycles, just all sorts of stuff, and bait, how it moved. And then I spent all year getting ready for this year. So, meaning that I didn't spend every waking moment.
4 months.
Yeah.
Because grouper season, just for like anyone out there that doesn't know.
It's sort of the last 4 months.
Grouper season closes December 31st, right?
Yep.
So you have January, February, March, and April.
Yep.
Where the groupers kind of get a little break.
Right. So it's like I say for a year because it feels like a year.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like a very long while.
But I want people out there to know that it's not a year. And Ryan does know his fishing, in case someone's listening to this scratching their head going, what the fuck is he talking about?
It always feels like a year to me. Always. Because
it's such a long wait for you.
It's a
because you catch so many groupers.
Very long wait.
And your clients love them.
Yeah, I really enjoy targeting that fish. Probably it's one of my top favorite fish to target. So
we're going to talk a little bit today about attitude. And as you can tell how we kicked off this podcast, Ryan has an amazing attitude about fishing and waiting for season and getting excited and thinking of the memories. And the topic came to my head today when I was just looking at the final touches of his newsletter. We updated his template this month, which was super exciting to finally
it looks great.
Have the template updated. We're appreciative of someone who helps us with all those things. We're super appreciative, and got that done. And when I was reading Ryan's newsletter, it just made me laugh, and it made me really take a moment to appreciate not only Ryan's positive attitude, but also clients' positive attitudes, and how you just have such an amazing charter when people have a positive attitude. And that goes for anything. I mean, that goes for me. Tomorrow, I'm doing a photo shoot with Mary Griffin for my second book, Life and Love Lessons. And when you bring a positive attitude and you have fun with it and you don't have these crazy ass expectations and you just have a really good time, like magic happens. It's kind of crazy how it all works out. Like I truly do believe that bringing that positive attitude, that celebratory attitude, that having fun, the excitement, that things really all kind of kick into place.
Yeah, that's so true. It's for me when there's all this preparation and all this work goes into all my fishing trips.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got the call from this group to go, and I don't know how they managed to get May 1st. Everybody was calling and then booking May 2nd, May 3rd. I was like, well, why hasn't anybody asked for May 1st?
Wow.
And I was like, and I wasn't gonna advertise it up either. So when people called for May 2nd, they called for May 3rd, and then I get a call. And it's like, hey, you wouldn't by chance have May 1st open or like May 5th or I'm sorry, May 1st. And I was like, yeah, I got it open. Everybody seems to think I was already booked. But I had every other date around there filled except for opener. And I wasn't going to put it out there because I was going to go by myself.
Because we didn't get anything.
Yeah, because I like to go grouper fishing and I like to do it early. So I was going to go by myself. So I wasn't going to advertise it out that it was open. So, but I knew somebody would, so I got that's funny. So I was like, yeah, I get to go grouper fishing. And then, but that didn't happen. So I got the call and I really, really do have to be cautious about who I take on fishing charters, especially when I go to target reef fish, large groupers, any sort of large fish, because it does take a lot of patience and a lot of time to target those fish and how they eat. And I knew that Saturday was going to be extremely busy, so I had to ask some hard questions when the client called, and his attitude was just phenomenal. It sounded like, in the way he said, we do a lot of fishing and we love the bottom fish. We love the bottom fish and we want to go grouper fishing with you. And I was like, okay, it sounds like you guys will be a good fit for me. And that's one thing. I want my people to be a good fit for me. Okay. That's one thing. I want it to be a good fit for the fishing charter and how I fish. So, because I do fish very differently in my techniques and stuff than most people. So you have to be really open to how I fish and not how everybody else fishes, and be positive about that. So what you may think that that won't work does work for me. So, and it kind of freaks people out a little bit. So I got to be really cautious about that. So these guys had amazing attitudes. And they brought a young boy, and he was like, just had that mojo for a kid.
He's like amazing. I'm looking at the pictures in the little video, and I'm like,
yeah, man.
What? He looked Get this kid's autograph now.
He looked like that. I called him. I go, he looked like that in that movie Point Break. He looked like all those surfers that were going to
totally cool little kid.
Next thing you know, next week, man, the kid will be skydiving.
Yeah.
So. But these guys had amazing attitudes. They were like, let's go. And I said, here's the spiel. I give everybody a spiel about this type of fishing. And I said, I want you guys to throw out everything you've learned from everybody else, and we're going to do it my way today, and you're going to be very successful. So, and they were exactly that.
Yeah, crazy.
They smacked every fish they hooked, and it started off very slow. I told them that this was going to happen. I said, I'm going to get fished on. It happened. I had spear divers jumping in on my chumps, like poaching me. I said, don't worry. They're not going to catch anything. They're not set up right. They don't have what I have, and they're not good karma. So those guys sat, they're patient. They listened, And sure enough, we did it. So, and they were well rewarded. So the first, Mike was well rewarded with his dream fish, which was a cubera, and I had no idea that he was so passionate about it.
Aww.
And when I thought the fish was fighting a little different, and then it started easing up a little bit, and I looked down and I was like, "You got to be shitting me!" And we got it up, and I didn't tell him what I thought it was until it came up, and he put the net on him, and Mike had a breakdown, and that was his biggest fish, man.
So freaking cool.
So he was going to fly to Panama. Then he said, or fly to Colombia to catch a cubera.
Colombia.
You typically catch those things in the middle of the night, not during the day. And I got to tell you what, the pictures look a hell of a lot nicer during the day than they do at night. And they don't look nice the next day after they've been frozen in the coolers either. You can actually see the fish. So, and all the bright colors. And so it was just that set the bar pretty high. And then he turned around and smacked a big black grouper after that. And then what was cool about it was, this is where it gets really cool, is that Mike pretty much stopped fishing and let the other guys have a shot at the fish.
Wow, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, he just kind of took it easy, man. He got his fish, and then he helped out with young Knox catch some fish, and then he chilled out, and then the other guys caught another nice big black grouper, some muttons, and it was
that's amazing.
And they were just chill. They listened, and they didn't question what I was doing. And when I get questioned, that's one thing you got to learn, is that when you're on somebody else's boat, and this could be on your friend's boat, you could be on a fishing charter, you just never, it's not cool to question somebody about stuff. And you just kind of like got to roll with what the captain tells you.
Yeah.
And I learned that when I used to be guests on other people's boat, and I was still learning. And then I just learned that it wasn't the brightest move to say something to a captain that was really working hard. So the client is there to go fishing, have a good time, and when you start questioning the captain's decisions, that's when stuff can really
because if you think about it, it really jacks your energy.
It jacks the energy.
That makes sense.
It really
from an energetic point of view.
It really messes with the energy of the boat. And being out there on the water a lot, there is an energy. There is an energy. Any good captain's going to tell you that. So you never mess with the captain's energy, especially a captain that makes his living out there almost every single day and is on the water every single day. So when you do that, it really messes it up.
Wow.
And then if you do catch a fish and hook a fish, you're probably going to lose the damn thing.
Yeah.
So that's just how it rolls. And if you don't believe me, you just haven't fished enough. So
wow.
Energy is a big thing on the boat. Yeah. Positive attitudes, and when you start messing with a boat captain's mojo or a mate's mojo, and then it's all it takes is a little tweak, and then it can just turn into a charter fishing trip.
Yeah.
So,
and for anyone out there that follows me, I talk a lot about energy. I talk about energy in my other podcast, Confident Conversations. I talk about energy on my Facebook Lives. I write about it. It is such a big deal. And if you can master your energy and keep it in positive, I write about it in my book too. Keep it positive or at least neutral.
Yep.
And be aware of other people's energy around you as well. That's when all the magical shit starts to happen, people. And that's exactly it. Everyone on the boat kept in positive energy mode, positive attitude. That allowed Ryan to keep in a positive energy, positive attitude mode. And everything click, 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 clicked.
Yep. It happened Friday before grouper opener. I had a very good client of mine. Very good. He's fished with me several times. He's been very supportive.
Super nice guy.
Super supportive of me, supportive of me and my business, through the podcast. He's just a really good guy. And he is down here and he's retired, and he's getting ready to head back up to North Carolina for the summer. And I've been trying to get him out, but the weather's been sucking. So I found a window of opportunity to go in the afternoon on Friday. And we got out there, and it absolutely was rotten. It was rotten. And I was ready to pull my hair out, and I had barracuda. I had 4 barracudas on me. I had a really, it was brutal. And then the seas were kicked up pretty bad still from all the wind. And I just hung with it. And I told him I was going to do my best, and we were going to make a run. And then I was going to take him someplace special because he'd been very patient, and we were going to stick it out. So I got off the hook with 2 yellowtail snappers, and I had lost 15 to sharks and barracudas. I was penned in because of the waves. I couldn't get off the hook, and it was just very frustrating. But I stuck with it. I told Bennett, I go, thanks for putting up with my shit. I go, but here we go. We're going to go do it. And sure enough, within an hour and 20 minutes, Bennett is extremely positive. He hung in there with me. We've been through it together before. And he caught a limit of mutton snappers that were between 15 and 20 pounds in an hour and 20 minutes. And a whole bunch of other stuff. And we were done.
Bam.
Boom.
In the box.
In the box, and time to go home.
Heading home.
And it was.
But he had a great attitude too.
And his attitude kept me going. His attitude was never questioned me, never questioned what I was doing. Didn't ask if he can go do something strange like go dolphin trolling or something like that. I mean, that's the thing is you gotta let your captain do the job. That's it. Don't try to co-captain. Just let him do the deal. And if you let him do that, and good things will happen. Good things will happen.
So I'm letting you captain this podcast.
So
as I sit here.
Yeah.
So good.
So
I'm just
Melinda's,
kidding. It's funny because I'm listening to Ryan's story. I'm like,
but
he's captaining the podcast.
But that's kind of that's it. It's like energy. Energy's a huge thing.
Totally.
And then, but yeah. So that's my story.
I love it. It's awesome. So that's all we got this week. We just wanted to give a little attitude chat. Maybe someone out there reminds me of a kid, needs an attitude adjustment. Yeah. Did you ever have that said to you when you were a kid?
Oh my God, yeah. Need an attitude adjustment.
You need an attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's taken many years to get to where I'm at as far as my attitude. So, and a lot of work. It just didn't spring up overnight.
I don't think, it's really fascinating as I'm working with my niece Sienna on some things in terms of spirituality. It makes me think about, which is so true, and so many people say this, you have all these positive things as you're an early child, and then society starts to get to you and reprograms you and takes that all away. And then as you get older, you have to reprogram yourself and unlearn all that. Unlearn all the bullshit, unlearn all the things that you learned from your family that isn't serve you, things from work, things from school, things from people, things from social media, whatever, tons of stuff out there, right? And you have to unlearn all that. You have to rewire your brain, and you have to start to shift back pretty much to when you were a child and life was happy and carefree and you were positive.
Yeah.
When you were little. When you were little.
That's
you weren't nothing affected you. You were just having a good time.
Yep.
So
that's it. And for me, once I hit the head pen out of Tavernier Creek, everything just goes bye-bye. If I'm in the zone, I'm in a good place. So, and you feel like a kid out there. So that's and that's the energy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cool. Well, Captain Ryan, how can everyone get hold of you?
You can follow me with all my crazy antics on Instagram. Corgi face.
I just laugh and kind of roll my eyes. And if you know me, I have kind of big eyes, so they kind of go around in my head. Yeah. And then I walk away.
Pretty soon you're going to see me eat a pilchard's head off.
Oh, yeah. No, let's not do that.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're just joking.
Yeah, it's, you can follow me at Good Karma Sportfishing _FL_keys. And then check out my website. It's goodkarmasportfishing.com.
Awesome. And I am on all the socials, Instagram, Melinda _Van Fleet, Facebook, LinkedIn. Website is goodkarmasuccesscoach.com. And we are super happy and grateful that you tuned in today. So hopefully you liked this podcast and got some good laughs. And please share it with someone else that you think it could help. That's why we're here. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.